Hey paper dolls, it's Madeline and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited, y'all. It has been a minute since I did some very fully dressed journals and I was inspired to do some for Christmas. So when you are seeing this video, they will be available on my Etsy. So let's get started with the flip through. This is going to be the 9 of Hearts. All right. Course, here is the charm. I did put a charm ring, but I did a detachable in case you wanted to have it on a clip. And you have got your vintage block, bells, buttons, milk pog, all kinds of beads, charms, bells, vintage trims, pom-pom, all the things, okay? It has got 3 signatures. This is a Tim Holtz pewter book plate. We wish you a Merry Christmas. This is some really fun vintage fabric. And I did a little cluster on the back with another little Tim Holtz pewter. I don't know if it's real pewter, but it's pewter colored. All right, really cute vintage fabric. And then this is some vintage ruffle trim. All right, they are fun and chunky. So let's start the flip through. Okay, open it up. I've got vintage fabric on the inside. Then I did a pocket and I put some fun goodies in the pocket. This is a tag I made out of a masterboard. And it's a clear adhesive pocket, and you've got, I bet it a cluster. Okay, Tim Holtz, got a nice ruffle there. On the inside, I did a flip here. Okay, you have got, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. There's a lot of detail. Got a pocket here with a button, and I did decoupage on an envelope and made a faux postage stamp. Okay, this is from a vintage book about Christmas decorating, vintage wallpaper. Okay, and then you got a vintage coaster. You've got some really fun trim here, a pocket with another journaling card I made from a masterboard and then inked. And then some fun vintage stickers. Okay. This is Tim Holtz. Each one of these is going to have one of these beautiful appliques in it. This is from an Ideals. Oh, and in the center, you've got buttons and bells. Okay. This is held on with a brad. It's a little Tim Holtz charm and a little stocking. You've got a journaling card here made out of a napkin. Okay, pocket, vintage wrapping paper. So all throughout these journals, you're going to see, it's got buttons. There is a lot of detail, multiple steps went into creating some of these items that went in these journals. Here is a cluster I made, and this is stamped. So I really decided I wanted to make a collection that went all out. This is a decoupage napkin I turned into a pocket. Some fun trim. And then I did embossing and stamping and inking. So lots of elements. Okay, here. Got some vellum. Now this one is fun. It's the only one, and I had this really cute book called Winter Sports, and I bound it into the middle of the second signature. And I thought, because of the fabric, I just really thought it went nicely with this journal in particular. So you have a little story in the middle, vintage trim, button dangle, got ledger. I've got a little paper clip holding this on. Open it up, and I have a scrappy pad on the inside, charm and button there. It's got Braille paper and went through and put some Tim Holtz little Christmas sayings on it with the vintage trim, brads. So those were super fun to make. And I wanted to leave that loose so you could go through and really, you know, if you wanted to glue it anywhere you wanted. I inked up this, and then you've got some goodies inside. Okay, more trim. I really wanted this to look really pretty from the outside. Okay, the rest of your book here. Okay, and then this I made, it's a little tuck spot. Here's a tag. I did some inking. This tag's got a little pocket. Okay, another I made, pocket tuck I made from a masterboard, vintage lace. Okay, this I collaged on the Tim Holtz, what do they call those? The collage strips, and I made, and there's a little goodie tucked in with more of the trim here. This is a decoupaged envelope with a little booklet inside, vintage wrapping paper. Here we got a pocket, lots of goodies, vintage placemat. This is from Little Golden Book. It's newer, but I thought it was pretty. This is an embossed envelope here. Okay, and then inside you have a little envelope full of like collage bits that I've punched out. Okay, Richard Scarry, coloring sheet, charms and button. Okay, on this side you've got more goodies in here, more trim. Okay, more decorated pocket. This I did a little collage up here, Tim Holtz decorated. This is decoupage on music paper. Another little collage up here with the trim. And then in the back, another clear adhesive pocket. Some, of course, you've got your fabric. And then I did the scrapbook paper, which I've sewn and did inking. And then you have some more goodies in the pocket. All right. And these are 8 by 10, 3 signatures, and they have a lot of pages in them. So, I don't know, I would say maybe close to 100, maybe over. So this is going to be the 9 of Hearts. All right. 10 of Hearts. Again, this one, I did the ring fastener. Okay. Here is your chunky charm. This is one of these vintage button covers. Okay. Lots of fun vintage and new elements. I had one candy cane button. That's a vintage bingo marker, vintage bell. Lots of fun goodies in here. Love that. And then I found this pretty, which I thought would go really well. This lace is a tie. And then here's the cover. Okay, she's wooden, and then you've got Joy to the World. And this is your vintage, this is made out of vintage pillowcase. This is vintage trim here. So pretty. We'll start the flip through. Okay, vintage fabric on the inside. Again, clear adhesive pocket with the cluster. Goodies inside. Same here with the Tim Holtz. These are going to be somewhat similar with the elements, but they will have differences. Like here's a collaged envelope. Okay, pocket, vintage wrapping paper, Richard Scarry. Whoop. Ledger, Tim Holtz. This is from a Dean's book. Isn't that beautiful? Jingle bells. Okay. So pretty. This is Really pretty journaling card, again made out of a napkin. As most of my old followers know, I love napkins at Christmas for decoupage. Tuck that in there. Got a pocket here, decorated, embossed and inked envelope with a tag. We've got another cluster right here I did. More trim. And here is your bingo card. Okay, vintage gift wrap, decoupage, collage. This is a masterboard card. Okay, here is a side page decoration I did. All right, here's a different decoupaged envelope with some goodies tucked in. Okay, this is a little folded like pocket I made that I slipped in these. I'll go right there. Okay, little tab, another envelope of goodies to collage with. This is another decoupaged envelope. Got a card in there. Okay, more goodies. This is that embossed dyed envelope again. Okay, and then this is on here with the brad. Lots of pages, lots of handmade elements. Here's another tuck. Okay, right here, that same collaged. Got the goodies here. This one's got a paper clip. Okay, here is your scrappy pad. So they have some of the same elements, but they really, I went through and did them individually as far as decorating and adding things to the pages. Just lots of fun Christmas things throughout. This like slides a little bit, isn't that neat? Yeah. We got some more vellum here. Okay, and then this is from a vintage botanical book. Again, you've got charms, buttons, bells, and all the middles of the signatures. Okay, there's another. Okay, right there, pocket. That's the vintage placemat. Doily. Here's a fun little cluster here. Pocket full of goodies. Got some stars, more trim, and then this is the back here. Okay, there's your little cluster, and there you go. So that is going to be your number 10. I'm just so happy with the way these came out. I really spent a lot of time on details with these. Okay, and then this one is the Jack of Hearts. And here is, this one was fun because I could bring in lots of pinks. You've got part of a chandelier here, bells, buttons. You got some mushrooms here because you've got mushrooms in the fabric of this one. Super fun. And the cover of this one, you've got this, which I collaged, and then this is a wooden, and I did a real, can you see, dimensional star on the top of the tree there. Just, I love the way these came out. And then on the back, on the bottom, you've got this, Have a Holly Jolly Christmas, Tim Holtz. All right. And then on the inside, you've got your vintage fabric, and then your pocket with the goodies. Here's your Tim Holtz belly band. Got a pocket here, embossed wallpaper, ledger. It's a fun little page edge decoration. This is a cluster I made and then put on this piece of decoupage paper. Okay, and then little tag there. Your vellum, your old book pages. Another journaling card. made out of a napkin. Okay, and then here is your flip, the bingo card. Okay, here's another little cluster I made. Your scrappy pad. This was made out of a masterboard. Okay, your vintage gift wrap. And this is avocado dyed paper. Your placemat. Got some deli paper. Here's a pocket with a little vintage postage stamp. Okay, and here's a tag made out of the masterboard. This one got another Dean's in the middle. Isn't that cute? On the sleigh. And then you got your button and your bell. Okay, you got your cluster, goodies in the pocket there. Here is a card that I inked. And here's a pocket. It's got some goodies in it. These are Chunky Mamas. An inked card, inked pocket, more vintage trims. Okay, every single one of them got this because I just thought this was adorable with the pinks. Here's some more of that vintage lace. Pocket. Here is that dyed and embossed envelope. This has got your little goodies inside. And then here is another decoupaged envelope. Vintage gift wrap. Got a little tag on a bulb pin there. A little tab here. Okay, lots of goodies inside, decorated. Tim Holtz. You've got a little glassine bag here. Another vintage botanical page. It's got like your Christmas botanicals. Okay, here's a fun little decoration up here. And here is a pocket that's got my little folded up floating pocket in it. More goodies. And then this one, I'm just going to clip this in here. I thought this might be fun to like fold out and have as a place, like a secret pocket. So I may just put like a little, what am I trying to say, Velcro piece here and clip it in, and then the recipient can glue it in or use it elsewhere. And then here is the back with your little cluster and your clear adhesive pocket. All right. So by the time you are watching this video, these will be listed in my Etsy, and I'll have the link down below. And this is going to be the last of my big Christmas journals. Depending on how I'm feeling after Thanksgiving, I might do a few just very basic, simple glue books, you know, that don't have big charms or a lot of decoration, just to throw in the shop for last minute. But this is going to be the bulk of it right here. So thank y'all for watching the flip through. Please tell me what your favorite is. I hate to pick favorites, but something about this one, this fabric, I really was drawn to. But I mean, I really love them all. They're so beautiful. I was happy with the way they came out. So this is before Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, paper dolls, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.